Whoa. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Friday. This is Chris Hewerts coming to you from Omaha, Nebraska, and hope you've had a great week. We're really excited about today's show. We have one of our favorite human beings in the world joining us, and she's going to guide us through a mindful eating practice. And so I had to scramble because I was trying to figure out what do I have here on my desk to eat. And it looks like somebody left some chapstick. And I remember a certain point in my life, I thought this was food. I have these raw eggs and I'm probably not going to eat that. But I found some chocolate covered almonds. So I'm going to jump on those. And then Felina makes me these cheese and turkey roll and lettuce wraps for lunch. And I still have this one. So I got my food ready. Basil, watch this. We have a little trick that we've taught him. And so there's a treat in here. And we're going to see how mindful he can eat. So give me 1 second. What? Come here. Yeah. Well, that wasn't very nice. Earlier in the day, he did get his head caught in a paper bag and it was pretty hilarious. But I have some more treats for him. So he's also going to join us in this little mindful eating thing. Now, I need to kind of warn you today. I'm the guy responsible for these slides. But last night when I was making dinner for Felina, I almost cut the tip of my finger off. And yes, that is a Hello Kitty Band-Aid on it. And yes, these are the 3 fingers that I have to slide on this little mouse trackpad to pull the slides up. So hopefully I don't ruin it for y'all. But before we get going, I wanted to thank everybody who was here for Kids Contemplation last week. And I am going to put these slides up here on the screen because if you were part of this last week, then you did send some pictures in. I wanted to sort of thank everybody for doing that. These are all the images that we got from folks doing the art project with Morgan. And man, it just looks like you all are having a blast. Looks like there's some really gorgeous pieces that also came out of this. And if you weren't able to join us last week for this, that's okay. These are recorded and you can get the recordings online later. There goes Basil, man. He's tearing that bag up. So mad. And here he comes. He wants to mindfully eat a little bit more. Anyway, I am hi buddy, I see you. I am super duper pumped for today because Ani is honestly one of our favorite human beings. And I'm gonna last time come back to the screen really quick. She used to work here at Gravity and we loved her. She brought so much joy and such a lovely presence, and she brought her whole heart into the work that she did. And I'll tell you the truth, the day after her last day, Flynn and I came into the office and we just cried. We missed her so much. She also loves Basil so much. And this picture, Basil wearing Felina's tank top is the day after he got jumped in the park a couple years ago. A big old mean dog attacked poor Basil and bit up his stomach and he had to get stitches. And there she was. She was there right away just to check in on him and take care of him. And so not only do Felina and I love Tia, that's what we call her because she's Basil's Tia, but Basil loves her to death. So I want to come back to this one last slide before we turn it over to Felina and Anahi. But if you are joining us from somewhere on this map that's not colored in, drop your state or your country in the chat and we'll make sure to update this. But once again, I just love to put this up every week to show us where we all are and where we're all coming in from so that we kind of realize how we are together in this. And this is even amazing because today we have folks from Australia and Egypt also joining us. So find your state on the map. If it's not colored in, holler, drop it in the chat. We'll update this. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Felina. And Felina's going to take us on to, I hope, a really, really great afternoon.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Basil. And hello, everyone. It's great to have you with us again today. We're really looking forward to our time together with you, and I want to just briefly introduce Anahi to you. So Anahi Salazar Angulo is, as Chris mentioned, one of our most favorite people in the whole wide world. She is a public school educator and proud of it. She's an incredible teacher and is proud to be in the public school system. She immigrated from Mexico when she was just 5 years old, and she's grown up here in Omaha, Nebraska with her family. And she is here in Omaha with Chris and me. We're in the same city, but we're in different locations because of the coronavirus. We are honoring the social distancing. So she's going to join us here in a minute from her home. And I wanted to let you know that Anahi teaches in Spanish for one of the district's dual immersion programs here in town. And so she's actually going to be facilitating this mindfulness practice in both Spanish and English. And while she enjoys teaching, and that really is what she considers to be her primary vocation, she does hold a graduate degree from the University of Minnesota in education policy. And Anahi is really passionate about equity, and as equity or equality applies to all people, and in how equality is an important aspect of education, and the inequalities that come up are a real serious problem that Anahi gives a lot of her attention to and is concerned about, and does what she can to create more equality for her students. So with that, I'd like to invite Anahi to turn on her video and her microphone and join me here. Hey, Anahi.
Hi.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, doing okay. Just, trying to get by with this coronavirus crisis that we're all in.
Yeah.
But, you agreeing to do this webinar makes the day so much better for all of us. So thank you for agreeing to spend time with us. Really looking forward to the practice you're going to lead us in. So I'm going to turn it over to you. And then I just want to let all of the participants know when the practice is finished, and just make sure now that you have something you can eat, like a piece of fruit, maybe some raisins, perhaps some nuts, or if you have some prepared rice. Make sure you have a little something to put in your mouth that you can eat, and something edible. And when this practice is finished, we're going to open it up to the participants. You'll have an opportunity to turn on your microphone and your video if you'd like, and interact with Anahi and myself. So get ready for that too. Thanks, Anahi. I'm going to turn off my mic and my video now.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to just say how thankful I am that you would let me into your homes through a computer screen today. And since Felina did mention I would be doing this in both languages, I will also be doing it in Spanish. So if you are learning Spanish or want to learn a few words in English, in Spanish, I'm sorry, hopefully you can just pick a couple as we go along. So primero quería agradecerle a todos por dejarme entrar a sus casas por la computadora. Estoy muy agradecida de poder tener esa oportunidad con ustedes. And as Selena mentioned, we are doing a mindful eating practice. I think since this whole COVID-19 began, we have all been home, hopefully safe and sound, and trying to stay healthy. And with that comes being able to keep our bodies safe and nutritious and, again, healthy. Como mencionó Felina, desde que empezó COVID-19, todos estamos en casa y queremos mantenernos saludables y sanos, y parte de eso es mantener a nuestros cuerpos sanos con la comida que comemos. So food is so essential, right? To how we live our lives. We wake up in the morning and sometimes your tummy's like, oh, I need something to eat in order to get my day started. And then you go throughout your day and you may feel hungry an hour or two later. I know when we were in school, we would eat snack around 10, and then we would have lunch, and then we would have another snack. So we consumed food throughout the day. And it looks a little different now that we're home all day. So cuando estaba trabajando en la escuela, consumíamos comida cada rato. En la mañana desayunábamos, teníamos merienda a las 10, después teníamos almuerzo, teníamos otra merienda y ya nos íbamos a casa. Pero se ve un poco diferente ahora que ya estamos en casa todo el día. So I was really excited when Felina and Chris and Basil asked me to help facilitate just a practice that is near and dear to my heart, and that's mindful eating. Just because we eat all day, everyone does it. We all eat different things, and I think that is why it's important. And so we will actually do mindful eating practice today using our 5 senses. So cuando Chris y Felina me preguntaron que sí que quería hacer para este mindfulness, me estaba muy emocionada de poder introducir y a platicar sobre lo que consumimos, lo que comemos, porque lo hacemos todos los días y lo hacemos cada rato y todos consumimos o comemos cosas diferentes. Así que se me hizo que esto era especialmente importante. So today we'll be using our 5 senses with our mindfulness eating. And because Felina mentioned I was a teacher, I just made little flashcards here to keep us on track and just to see what we're doing. So 5 senses are nuestros 5 sentidos. Como dijo Felina, mencionó Felina, soy una maestra, así que hice cartitas para poder mantenernos en línea en lo que íbamos a hacer. So 5 sentidos, 5 senses. And if you're at home, can you just tell either an adult, or you can say it in your brain, you can say it to someone out loud, but what those 5 senses are. And I'm going to give you 3 seconds to think about it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, let's see if we got maybe just 1, 2, 3, 4, or all 5 senses. So los que están en casa, les di 3 segundos, lo siento, para poder pensar en esos 5 sentidos. Y ahora vamos a revisar para ver si los sabemos. So we're going to review to see just really quickly if we know those 5 senses. So the first sense that I thought of, maybe you thought of a different one, but the first sense that I thought of is what we see, nuestra visión. El primer sentido que me vino a mente a mí es nuestra visión, lo que vemos. So I drew little eyes there. So it's a first sense. Okay, our second sense is our taste, nuestro gusto. And I drew a mouth, dibujé una boca para representar el gusto. I drew a mouth to represent taste. And the third one I thought of is what we hear, nuestra audición. So I drew a little ear, what we hear, audición. The fourth one I thought of was our touch. I drew a hand, nuestro tacto. And then the last one I thought of was smell. And I gotta tell you, I was really nervous to draw a nose. Les tengo que decir que estaba muy nerviosa en dibujar una nariz, pero la dibujé. So smell, olfato. Okay, so we reviewed really quickly what those 5 senses are. Now, how can we apply them to when we're eating a snack? So acabamos de repasar cuáles eran esos 5 sentidos y ahora, ¿cómo los vamos a usar cuando estamos comiendo una merienda? Bueno, vamos a intentarlo hoy con lo que tienen en casa. So today we're going to try it with anything you have at home. So I have an apple, and on this side it looks like I haven't cut into it, but I actually did. And so I have a piece of an apple that I will use my 5 senses to eat. And you can, like Felina stated, you can use whatever, you can eat whatever you have at home. So lo que yo voy a comer y lo que yo voy a usar para nuestra clase o nuestro mindfulness, práctica de mindfulness, es una manzana, y puedes comer lo que tengas en casa, lo que encuentres puede ser una manzana, una naranja, un pedazo de dulce, algo para que tomes una pausa y recuerdes qué es lo que estás comiendo. So whatever you have at home that you can eat, you can just placing your hand right now. And it can be whatever you want, something healthy like a fruit or a vegetable, or a candy like those chocolate covered almonds that Chris had earlier, which are delicious. So I'm sure this will be that would be a great food to use for this practice. And our main objective, I think, when we're doing a mindfulness eating practice is to really understand what our bodies are doing and what they need from what we're eating. So uno de los objetivos más importantes cuando estamos practicando mindfulness, cuando comiendo, es que tenemos que reconocer qué es lo que necesitan nuestros cuerpos y las nutriciones que vienen de lo que vamos a comer. Okay, so using our five senses, again, we'll review them really quick. We see, visión, we hear, audición, we smell, olfato, we touch, tacto, and then we taste, gusto. And you're gonna take your piece of food, whatever it may be. In this case, I have an apple, like I stated. Pues vas a tomar la comida que tengas. En este caso, yo tengo una manzana. And first you're gonna see it. So I'm just gonna slow down here a minute, and I'm just gonna see what my apple looks like. Maybe on the outside, I see that it's red, and it has dots on it, on the apple. It has some scratches. So primero vamos a nuestra visión, vamos a ver lo que tenemos. Yo tengo una manzana, es roja de afuera, tiene puntos amarillos, también tiene unas líneas. On the inside, I see that I cut it like 20 minutes ago, so it's starting to brown. Adentro de la manzana lo corté hace 20 minutos, así que ya está un poco café. Looks like there's what appears to be brown and green lines. Parece que tiene líneas verdes y cafés. So I'm explaining what I see, but can you tell either an adult in your household, or you can say it in your brain, or you can tell a sibling, what do you see in your hand? So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to just explain what you see. Okay, now we'll come back. And I'm sorry if I interrupted and you were still sharing. If that is the case, maybe you can keep all those thoughts in your mind and you can share later. But thank you for all those who did share. So we talked about taste. We have 4 more. And I'm sorry, I forgot to say, you can do this with any food and whenever you're eating. I find this to be very helpful practice whenever I'm eating, just to remember again why I'm eating and what my body needs. So les voy a recordar que pueden hacer esto cuando sea, con cualquier comida, mientras están comiendo o cuando no están comiendo, solo para recordarse qué es lo que están consumiendo y por qué sus cuerpos lo necesitan. Okay, so we did what we see in nuestra visión. Ahora vamos a hacer smell. Now we're going to do smell. Now we're going to do smell. Ahora vamos a hacer olfato. So I'm gonna just put the apple up to my nose to smell it. If you have a smaller object, we don't want to put the food close to our nose, especially when we're taking a big whiff, because we just don't want anything to get stuck. So si tienes algo pequeño, no lo pongas muy cerca de tu nariz porque no queremos que se atore algo en la nariz, pero vamos a tomar la manzana y solo la vas a colocar debajo de tu nariz y vas a oler. So when you put the food that you have close to your nose, you can describe it. Like I would say, oh, I smell some sugar. I really like sugar, so I smell sugar. It kind of also smells kind of earthy. I don't know why I'm so earthy. I don't know if that's a good scent, but that's kind of what I smell. So I'll give you another 30 seconds just to tell your family member, your sibling, you can say it in your brain, what you smell. Oh, lo siento, no lo dije en español. Van a tomar 30 segundos para oler su comida, lo que sea que tengan, solo para olerla. Okay. So I smelled, ahora yo olí mi manzana, I smelled my apple. And so we've done see, ya hicimos visión, we did smell, olfato, ahora vamos a hacer, now we're going to do hear. Ahora vamos a hacer audición. So mi manzana, si la corto en dos. So my apple, if I cut it in half, oh, I already did. You can hear just the break in the apple. When I break it in half, you can hear kind of a small little, I don't know, crack that it made, and then made a hole cutting it in half. So cuando corté mi manzana en dos, la empujé a los dos lados y hizo un sonido muy pequeño, pero escuché que empezó y se rompió a la mitad. So whatever it is that you have at home, maybe if it's a carrot, carrots make great noises, or a piece of lettuce, or a piece of cheese. Maybe if you try just to break it in half, or break it into smaller pieces, see if you hear anything. Maybe if you have a couple, if they're chocolate covered almonds like Chris, maybe you can move them around, see if you hear anything. So lo que tengan en casa, si lo pueden quebrar en dos, o si los tienen en su mano y los pueden mover, a ver qué escuchan. So I'm gonna try to cut it in half again. I'm gonna give you 20 seconds this time to either break your fruit, vegetable, candy in half, or move them around. So les voy a dar 20 segundos para poder romperlo en dos o mover lo que tienen en su mano para ver si escuchan algo. Okay, those 20 seconds are over, and I have to tell you that I love doing this with spaghetti, or really any type of noodle. Y les tengo que decir que me gusta hacer usar mi sentido de escuchar cuando estoy comiendo spaghetti o cualquier pasta, especially if there's a lot of sauce. If you put your fork in it, or if you hear when they're putting a spoonful of spaghetti on your plate, you hear all that swooshing, or you hear the noodles moving around. I really enjoy doing that. I really enjoy hearing that. Especialmente cuando estamos comiendo pasta y pones tu tenedor y lo mueves, o cuando te están dando el espagueti o cualquier pasta y lo ponen en tu plato, escuchas a todas la salsa, escuchas la comida, cómo se mueve. Me encanta poder escuchar la comida de esa manera, usar mi audición de esa manera. Okay, so we did smell, we did see, we did hear, ya hicimos olfato, visión, audición. We have two more, we have touch and then taste. Tenemos dos más, tacto y gusto. So van a tomar su comida, you're gonna take your food, whatever it is that you have, and you're just gonna touch it. And in this instance, because we have an outer layer on my apple and an inner, the meatier part, it feels different. So en este caso, como tenemos una manzana que corté, tenemos lo de afuera y lo de adentro, y se siente diferente, and it feels different. So maybe the pieces that you broke off, you can touch them and just see how, or even you can close your eyes and just feel them. What does it feel like? I'm going to give you 20 seconds just to feel, not play, but feel your food. Les voy a dar 20 segundos para que toquen y sientan su comida. So what are your fingertips? What do they feel on your food? So los puntos de sus dedos, ¿qué sienten en la comida? Okay, we'll come back. So we've just felt our food, and to be honest, I've never taken that much time to feel my food. So estamos, ya acabamos de sentir nuestra comida, y para ser honesta, nunca he tomado tanto tiempo para sentir mi comida. And it felt really squishy inside the apple, but also where I broke off my into smaller pieces, you could feel these like little just bumps along the along the edge here. And it definitely felt different on the outer skin, especially when I said there were lines, because it was an apple that had been through quite a bit. It felt so just new. I've never felt the skin of an apple like that. So cuando estaba tocando la manzana se sentía muy diferente en medio que la parte de la carne que afuera, el exterior, y nunca he tocado mi comida de esa manera para poder sentirla, y fue una experiencia nueva también para mí. Okay, so lastly, and I'm hoping you're anticipating it just as much as I am. Y por último, espero que estén anticipando esto tanto como yo. We get to taste our food, el gusto. So para lo último que vamos a hacer es vamos a comer nuestra comida, el gusto que nos da comerla. And we'll actually take a little bit longer to taste our food, just because when we're doing a mindful eating practice, this is kind of the best part, where it enters your body. You get to taste it in your mouth, but also be mindful of the nutrients. So what we'll do is we'll take 2 whole minutes. So lo que vamos a hacer es vamos a tomar 2 minutos para comernos el pedazo que tengan, y para describir lo que se siente dentro de tu boca. So we'll take 2 minutes, and I'll kind of guide us through what those 2 minutes will look like. We'll obviously put the food in our mouth. So yo los voy a guiar en cómo se debe de ver esta parte. Van a meter el pedazo de comida que tienen en su boca. So you'll place your food in your mouth. If you need to chew it, you'll start chewing it. And while we're putting it in our mouth and while we're chewing, we're all just going to recognize that our bodies are so strong, right? We have teeth that can chew through anything almost, and all these tiny little glands in our tongue that help us taste food. And our tongue is so important. So cuando estamos comiendo tenemos que reconocer que nuestro cuerpo es muy, muy, muy fuerte y que tenemos dientes que nos ayudan a masticar, tenemos una lengua con muchas glándulas que nos ayudan a saborear las cosas. Así que mientras estamos comiendo en estos 2 minutos, les voy a decir cada 30 segundos ¿qué es lo que sienten? ¿Qué es lo que saborean? So during these 2 minutes, we'll every 30 seconds, I'll just say a quick excerpt, quick statement, I'm sorry, about what it is maybe you're feeling in your mouth, what it is you're tasting, maybe some of the reactions your mouth is having, like chewing. So can everyone just put their food, whatever it is, that's a big piece, whatever it is they're going to eat in their hand, and we'll just be thankful to know that we have something to eat, and thankful to the people that either prepared it or picked it. So primero vamos a poner la comida en nuestras manos y vamos a agradecer a quien lo preparó o a quien lo cosechó. And then we're going to take 2 minutes just to eat it and see what comes about while it's in our mouth. So vamos a tomar 2 minutos para ver lo que sale mientras está en nuestra boca. Okay, so ready? So exciting. Okay, 2 minutes. You can place it in your mouth. So what do you feel on the sides of your mouth? So ¿qué sienten a los lados de sus bocas? ¿Qué escuchan? What do you hear as you're chewing? Is it a softer food or a harder food? What do you hear? What is your tongue kind of tasting? Is it sour? Is it sweet? Is it tangy? Do you feel slimy? Food, is it harder thing to get through? Okay, so that was 2 whole minutes. So eso fue 2 minutos. So I will share what I taste. First of all, I heard almost immediately the crunch of my apple as I bit down. But then I could kind of taste all of these little different strands that started coming from the apple. So al principio, cuando metí la manzana en mi boca, escuché lo crujiente que era la carne de la manzana, pero después como que eran diferentes partes que se estaban deshaciendo de la manzana. And then at the very end, I could taste the skin. Y al último pude saborear la piel. And it was really good. And estaba delicioso. So when you're home and you're eating something, so cuando estés en casa y estás comiendo algo, puedes usar tus cinco sentidos. When you're home and you're eating something, you can use your five senses to kind of experience food in a new way para poder sentir la comida en una manera nueva. But that is all I had, and I'm so thankful that you would let me just share this with you.
Awesome. Anahi, thank you so much. That was amazing. I enjoyed it very much. I ate a piece of deep, dark chocolate that I love, and it's never tasted better to me. It was so wonderful. Thank you for the experience of slowing down and enjoying what I was eating. And I want to just take a minute to turn this over to Chris. He wants to share something because I have a feeling that this experience might remind you of something. Is that right, Chris?
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, Ani, that was incredible. I actually ate a dog treat and enjoyed it. Just kidding. No, I love that you did that in English and Spanish. And some of y'all know this. When we adopted Basil a few years ago, we didn't know when he was coming, and he showed up on a Sunday, and I think on a Tuesday or Wednesday that week we had to leave. And Flynn and I went to Korea and Thailand and Indonesia for 10 or 12 days. And Ani stayed with Basil, and she taught him all of his commands in Spanish when he was just a little puppy. So he actually responds better in Spanish. But while you were doing this, and I saw over here in the chat, our dear friends Olu and Leela showed up, I thought, oh my goodness, I have to tell you all the story. So when we first started Gravity, and here, let me show this sweet, sweet picture. These two little girls, so adorable, and they're still so adorable. They would come to meditation when they were 2 and 4 years old. And every Wednesday when they would come to meditation, after we were done meditating, we would get out a container of chocolate covered caramel and pass it around for the little girls to sort of positively reinforce their own meditation practice. And what was super duper great about that was it stuck. And so now every week when we do meditation here at Gravity, we still send a container of chocolate around, and we still remember Olu and Leela. So Felina, I'm not sure why Ani's screen stuck on here. I'm not sure if everybody got to see the pictures of the little girls.
I think everyone could see the pictures. Maybe someone can put in the chat if you could see it. I could see it on my screen over here.
Yeah. And just for all the concerned parents out there, actually Gravity does have a very strict vulnerable persons protection policy. And I did get permission from their mother to put that picture online. I'm wondering, Olu and Leela, Felina, can you make them a panelist really quick?
I sure can.
I wonder if you can turn your camera and your audio on and see if, hey, there you are.
Hi.
See if you could help us start the question and answer section. Felina, do you have a question for Olu and Leela?
Yeah, hi, can you see me?
Yeah.
It's nice to see both of you. I was wondering if you could start us off by sharing what your experience was like. Tell us first what piece of food you used, and then if you can say something about the experience.
We used Cheez-Its, and we just kind of, it was like, I've never thought of like a Cheez-It, like having, I've never really like taste all of the like flavor in it, because it's always, I always eat them so quick. So it was like, I concentrated more on like the flavor, and I could taste the flavor more. And I saw more of the detail on it. So
yeah, awesome. Yeah. What about actually, it's interesting that you chose Cheez-Its because that's one of Chris's favorite foods. Yeah. What about your sister? How was it for you?
It was good because normally I'd shove, like, I don't shove them in my mouth, but I eat them very, very quickly, so I don't really get taste. So this, I could actually taste some stuff.
Good. Well, I hope you enjoyed the experience. Do you have any question for Anahi before we see if others want to participate?
I just lost my question.
You lost it? If you lost it and it comes back after you turn your video off, you can raise your hand in the side of the webinar and we'll call on you again if we have time, okay?
Okay.
All right, it's good to see you. Oh,
I just wanted to say, I'm so thankful that you started that chocolate trend because I've greatly enjoyed having a chocolate at the end of our meditation practice at Gravity. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
all right, bye girls.
Bye. Bye.
Now, if anyone else would like to share about your experience or ask a question, just raise your hand and I'll call on you and we'll turn your video on and see if you can figure out how to turn your, see if you can figure out how to raise your hand. I think it's down at the bottom on your computer in that bottom menu between, someone told me, I think it's between the chat and the Q&R or Q&A, something like that. Down at the bottom, there's an option to raise your hand. Okay, there we go. Let's see about this person. Hello there. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi. I'm
Who am I?
Radwa.
Radwa?
Yes.
Nice to have you with us. Would you like to turn your video on?
I don't know. I have something wrong with my settings, but
Oh.
I guess we had the time wrong. We're in Egypt, and we thought that the meeting was start at 9 p.m. So we just missed you. Or you just started, or you're finishing?
Oh,
sure.
we're just finishing.
Oh, it's too bad.
Yeah, I'm really sorry that it didn't work out for you to participate, but there will be a recording of this, so you can view it at another time.
Really? Okay, that's great.
Yes, so we will send out the email with instructions about how to find this recording. It'll go out tomorrow, like 24 hours from now.
Okay, that will be great. Thank you.
All right, nice to hear you. Take care.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Okay, hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, who am I speaking with?
Ria.
Well, it's nice to hear you. Would you like to turn your video on?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to promote you to panelist so that you can do that. Let's see. See if you can turn your camera on now.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience with this mindfulness practice?
It was really fun, and my favorite part was the 5 senses.
Oh, very good. Do you remember what the 5 senses are?
Hearing, looking, smelling, and tasting.
Nice. Very good.
Good job.
Can you tell us what food you used?
I used peanut butter M&Ms.
Oh,
Nice.
one of my favorites. That was a good one to do.
And what did you enjoy the most about it?
The taste. It was really, really yummy.
The taste. If you were like me, I could hardly wait to put it in my mouth. I wanted to put it in my mouth so badly. It was hard to wait. Well, we're glad that you could participate with us today. Do you have any questions for Anahi?
No.
No? Do you want to tell her thank you for her time and helping us with the practice?
Thank you.
You're welcome. And remember, you can use this with any food, anytime you eat. I know it's hard to keep taste as the last one because you do just want to eat it right away, but It's also fun to use your other senses when we're eating food. But thank you so much for participating.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. All right. It looks like Olu or Leela might have remembered the question. Let's see what they want to do here. Olu or Leela, can you start your camera? Oh, good. Hi. What's up?
What was your question, Leela? Does she have any cats or dogs?
Good question.
Good question. I do. We have a dog named Gergie. Well, I have two, Gergie and Milo. So I have two dogs.
And then this is Clover.
I see her, Clover. She's beautiful.
She does not want to be. Okay. But she is, I think, she's almost 1. She'll be 1 in May. So we're also training her tricks, which is cool because usually cats don't really listen. So that's fun.
That's awesome.
Nice. We should have a webinar sometime for the animals, and then maybe they could all show their tricks.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Leela, for remembering your question. I'm going to see if anybody else wants to interact with our guests today. We'll see you later. Tell your mom hi, okay?
Okay.
Bye. All right. Does anybody else want to share about their experience or ask a question? If no more children want to interact, I thought we could take a few minutes with the adults in the room and see if the adults have any questions for Anahi as an educator. She's also been transitioning through this COVID crisis, learning about how to do some teaching from home and that sort of thing. She would be a great resource for you if you are struggling to adapt and adjust to schooling at home. Let's see. Would anybody else like to interact? We'll just give it another few seconds here, and if not, I'm going to turn it over to Chris. Okay, well, if you would stay on for Chris as he comes on here and turns his video back on. And while we're waiting for him, if you would just put your palms together at the heart, and in this way connect with this heart center where we can find all this gratitude and thanksgiving and joy. And if you would connect with that gratitude and offer that gratitude to Anahi for her time and for taking us through this practice, for teaching us this way of mindfulness. So just taking a moment here to give thanks. And we'll turn it over to you, Chris.
Thanks, Felina. And Tia, thanks so much. You're amazing. It's always great seeing you. We're so sad we can't be together, but appreciate your time here.
Thank you all so much. Thank you. Really enjoyed being with you all today.
Well, stay healthy and stay safe. Have a good weekend.
Same. Bye, everyone.
And for everybody who's stayed with us, hopefully this can be a great reminder. Like Olu and Leela also reminded us to sort of maybe slow down and savor some of the things that are just the little ordinary miracles of our everyday. And I think that's one of the great gifts that we have during these kind of strange times that we're all trying to make sense of is learning to celebrate and learning to find beauty in very, very simple things. So I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. And I hope that tonight when you sit down and have your dinner, that you can bring some mindfulness to that. Basil, well, he's bombed. He wanted to eat a little bit more too. But me and Basil, along with Felina, send our love. Just to remind you all, this is the schedule for the rest of April. We'll continue to have a couple more whole health Mondays, and we're going to have a couple doctors checking in with us in the next couple weeks, just to kind of bring mindful care and concern to how we're taking care of ourselves and our bodies, and how we're checking in with our bodies and being present to our bodies. We'll continue to offer guided meditation and spiritual practice on Wednesdays. And we have, I think, at least one more Kids Contemplation Friday with a good friend of ours, Gabe's, who's from the Philippines, and she's a singer and songwriter, and I think she's going to play some really, really amazing stuff. So please join us, register for these. It's free, and we'll always put the playbacks online so that you can watch them later if you need to, or if you missed it. Oh, take care of yourselves and be good to your heart. Be good to your puppies and your kittens. Be good to your sisters and brothers, especially if they're younger, and try to listen to what your caregiver and your parents are offering you during these times, because they really do love you, and we know that. And if you're here, that's a sign of their love for you. And so try to love them back by just bringing peace into your world. Have a great weekend, y'all. Bye-bye.